I have such a boner for Bone Rider right now.
I know I do.
I'm so excited for chapter 4. Holy shit.
Hey.
I need to take a sip of water. Like,
I need to cool down. I'm going to go take a shower.
Take a nice, cool, cold shower.
I'm going to take a cold bath in your house. Get myself ready for this chapter.
I need some, like, smelling. I need some, like, sensual salts. I need to, like, really get immersed. Because even though there has been no romance, Bone Rider's been romancing me through its destruction.
Romancing the bone.
Romancing the bone.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Serving Pleasure Podcast. I'm Ethan Jesse.
And I'm Harry Yost.
And this is the podcast where we used to talk about trashy romance novels.
But now it's just us having romance with a novel. You just stumbled onto like a rom-com when Harry and Ethan fall in love with an inanimate object.
When Harry and Ethan met Bone Rider. Welcome back to our favorite book. Our new favorite book.
Our new favorite book. No.
Take all your... Hey, calm down. I'm in the middle of a podcast. I don't care if there are any crimes going on. But if you find a Bone Rider, let me know.
Let us know,
let
please.
Us know.
Oh, because I need to sit down with one.
Fuck, I was taking a drink of water and I spilled it all over my goddamn chest.
It's okay.
This book's good so far. Don't want to make any promises. I've already made so many promises.
You've made so many promises. Like, we haven't even started chapter 4. We've only read 3 chapters. And according to my Kindle, we have 13 hours and 59 minutes left in this book. But it's going to be worth it.
I think these are hours well spent.
Well spent.
I'm going to take time off from work and plays so that I can continue reading this book for the podcast.
I'm going to be at work sending emails, and I'm accidentally going to sign them off with Harry Yost, Bone Rider. Because that is all I could think of. Not events coordinator, Bone Rider.
Bone Rider. Proud. The few. The proud. The Bone Riders. Alright, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
We spent too long talking about it.
Oh,
we gotta get in there. Bone Rider, Chapter 4. In contrast to popular belief, Area 51 was not the place where the U.S. stowed alien remains and UFO wrecks.
What? Where?
That was primarily because there hadn't been any until the Widowmaker and her crew met their end in the Texas Hill Country. That didn't mean the military didn't have bases equipped to deal with the unexpected. In the wake of the crash and subsequent confrontation, it was quickly decided to transport the alien bodies to the closest facilities.
Fertilities.
Ooh, I'm fertile for Bone Rider.
My eggs are just shooting off like crazy.
Fill these with the bone.
Fertilize me.
This happened to be Camp Jackson, located in the New Mexico desert north of Silver City. Nicknamed the basement because most of the site was hidden deep underground. Camp Jackson could provide more than just safe storage. It was staffed with some of the finest scientific personnel employed by the United States military and housed a battalion of Army Rangers. Secure enough, the powers that be concluded. Moving the alien remains took priority for the simple reason that organic matter is almost always prone to disintegration. Flying was out of the question since there was no telling what effects of the changing air pressure would have on the already somewhat porous cadavers.
Oh my goodness.
There's so much detail.
So much detail. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When do you think this takes place? Do you think it's something that like it's taking place current day, or do you think it takes place in some kind of future world?
I'd say current day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It feels very current.
Very current.
Like, I feel like anytime you pick up this book, that's when it's supposed to be happening.
Solid.
Like, any time past the time this book was written onward. It's like, oh, hey, Bone Riders are happening.
Like, even if we read this...
Bone Riders. Bone Riders are happening to me.
Even if we brought this book back to 1920, I think 1920s folks would be like, oh, Bone Rider.
This book dope.
This book is badass.
Every president needs to read Bone Rider. Hey, NASA, President Obama, the next president of the United States, read this to get prepped. This is our doomsday gland preparation.
This is. Also, this should now just be like...
This is required
It's a prerequisite.
reading.
Yeah, required reading for presidencies.
And for being a United States citizen.
As soon as you're born, every baby should be gifted
one copy of Jay Fally's Bone Rider
to read as soon as they can.
Like, there's the foam ABCs a 4-piece puzzle, and J Fally's Bone
Bone
Rider.
Rider. In large print.
In large print. Yeah, I mean, they have small eyes.
Exactly.
They have like, what, is it 30/20 vision? What's the bigger number comes first if your eyesight's bad? I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
have
should
no
read.
idea.
I should read. I want to read. Flying was out of the question since there was no telling what effects of the changing air pressure would have on the somewhat porous cadavers. Instead, the bodies were carefully transferred into hazmat containers, labeled and loaded into the cushioned backs of 3 military transport vehicles, while the Army set up a perimeter around the crash site. The crater itself couldn't be approached yet because the ship hadn't merely exploded. It had melted into a steaming, highly corrosive mess and was still in the process of dissolving further. So it was the Doomsday Glands.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I so deep in this lore that I'm like, oh yeah, it was the Doomsday Glands.
I know, you were like, oh, okay, good. So now I know.
And now, so they were mentioned for a reason.
So now
Chekhov's
makes sense.
Doomsday Glands. So far, it had been impossible to collect samples, and it didn't look like there'd be enough left in the end to study. The convoy transporting the bodies consisted of 3 cargo and 2 gun trucks. It left as soon as its top-secret freight was secured, but by the time it made its way slowly along the winding gravel and back roads to Route 173, the sun was setting. And when they finally merged onto I-10 West, it was pitch dark. So, like, they even have the roads mapped out. This is redonk. In the cargo areas of the first 2 vehicles, the coffin-like boxes that contained what was left of Jas and Kerr vibrated gently in tune with the hum of tires on tarmac. Both of the bodies were forever merged with their armor systems. Host and symbiont inseparable, even in death.
Oh.
The final box wasn't quite as peaceful, though. Had the men placed with the containers not been so busy speculating about what exactly they were guarding, they might have heard a thin scratching from the inside. Bum, bum, bum! Had the interior of the cargo area not been so dimly lit, they might have noticed the tiny crack that opened up at the bottom of the metal crate.
Oh my god.
Or the stream of what looked like quicksilver oozing from the fracture and through a gap in the floorboards.
Oh my god.
However, it was dark, and the men didn't have orders to stay silent, so System 6 managed to slip out unnoticed. My boy!
Ass!
My boy!
Badass. Also, listeners, I wish you could see Kevin right now because I also feel like Kevin the cat looks so invested in Bone Rider. Just look at us like he's just waiting.
He's looking
listening.
directly at us.
He is. Oh my god. System 6.
Oh, hold up. Oh, I'm super ready for this next sentence. The renegade Bone Rider clung to the undercarriage of the truck until every last bit of him was free of Rick's charred body in what he thought was some kind of alien corpse-carrying box.
Oh my god. Also, can we just talk about the fact that System 6 still managed to survive even though his host had died?
Well, he never merged fully.
Oh, that's true.
So he was like, I'm not going to die here.
He's probably like, bitch, I'm not giving you armor.
He probably let Rick die.
He was probably like, thank you, God. Thank you for killing. Thank you for these aliens killing Rick.
Well, apparently we're supposed to say the powers that be.
Mm.
As J Fally willed. As J...
As J Fally saw fit.
Sorry. Until every last bit of him was free of Rick's charred body in what he thought was some kind of alien corpse-carrying box. And then he dropped to the ground with a soft, liquid sound and lay still. The rear guard passed right over him, but the driver didn't recognize the significance of what to him looked like a puddle. I'm sorry.
Classy, Ethan.
I ate a bunch of Chinese food and am just drinking water, so my stomach's deflating.
It's okay, man.
I'll take that sentence over again. I'm sorry, everybody. The renegade Bone Rider clung to the undercarriage of the truck until every last bit of him was free of Rick's charred body in what he thought was some kind of alien corpse-carrying box. And then he dropped to the ground with a soft liquid sound and lay still.
Mm.
The rear guard passed right over him, but the driver didn't recognize the significance of what to him looked like a puddle on the otherwise dry road.
Surprise, surprise.
No alarm rang out, nor the squeal of brakes. After a while, the taillights of trucks disappeared in the night. System 6 was free.
Holy shit.
That's that. All right, hold up. End of chapter 4. This is chapter 4. Yes, end of chapter 4.
This was the shortest chapter, but oh my god, I'm enthralled.
Shit's happening.
Shit's happening.
Should we compound this?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, ladies and germs. Surprise, surprise. This is our first double feature performance.
Because chapter 4 was so short.
We're going to give you a bonus in chapter 5.
We're going to keep going.
Because we want to.
Because we also really want to. Oh my god, I just saw Riley Cooper.
Hey, everyone!
I'm so sorry. I got so excited. I peed a little. I'm peeing!
Did you really pee?
No.
Well, okay, I did.
That's okay. We can own up to it.
I'll be right back.
I need to clean myself.
Kevin, come here.
Kevin, I need a nice furry towel.
Suck up my urine.
Whoa. It's okay, Kevin. You don't have to. All right. Am I reading?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Ow.
I'm sorry, everyone, too, because I have a throat lozenge thing in my throat.
My chest hurts.
Everything
Unrelated.
hurts.
Everything hurts.
Okay. Bone Rider, Chapter 5. It was just past midnight when a battered, black pickup truck crested the hill not far from where the military convoy had lost part of its unusual cargo. The truck had seen better days, but its engine ran smoothly, and its tires ate the miles with a monotonous, satisfying hum. Oh my god, I want to fuck that truck!
I want to fuck that sentence.
Ugh. Everyone, I'm having a moment.
It's also really hot. So.
It's also really hot. Hello, summer. Hello, summer, my old friend. Boy, you are hot.
I've come
again.
to ride your bones again.
Yay! Like its driver, the truck was used to being on the road, accustomed to the endless band of highway in front and behind, and the changing scenery rushing by in patterns of stillness and motion. The hands that held the wheel were big and steady.
All right, yep, this is an erotic novel. This is an erotic novel.
It's so worth it. It was so worth the wait. God.
I almost don't want to get to this part.
I don't either, actually. And that's coming from me.
I know, and you started this.
I did. So the hands that held the wheel were big and steady, scarred from working and fighting.
I know.
Tell me more. Gentle enough to soothe a skittish yearling?
Yearling.
What is a yearling?
Like a baby deer or something. Where's our footnote?
Where's our footnote for yearling?
Jay Fally, come on.
Hey,
you conditioned us.
Now I want a footnote for everything I don't know. Soothe the skittish yearling, and dexterous enough to perform all the nifty bottle acrobatics expected from a big city bartender. Riley's a bartender?
Yeah, I guess so.
Exciting. The feet working the pedals were protected by a pair of comfortably worn-in biker boots, as hardy and reliable as their owner. The rest of the trim, wide-shouldered body lounging on the scuffed leather of the driver's side bench seat was wrapped in sun-bleached denim and a Southern screw employee shirt that smelled of smoke, sweat, and faintly of spilled alcohol.
How come you didn't use a Southern accent there, Harry?
I don't, because I was too wrapped up in him being a bad boy.
The baddest bad
He's
boy.
the baddest bad.
He's the baddest.
Instead of having a Southern screw employee shirt, his employee shirt should just say baddest bad boy.
Never mind. Something fell. It wasn't Kevin.
It wasn't. Kevin still nestled in so nicely. Invested in Bone Rider. Had the circumstances been different, Riley Cooper might have enjoyed this late-night drive. He was a man who appreciated being on the road, took pleasure in going places and discovering new things. This is a Tinder profile in the making, just for the record.
All right, I'm going to assume my identity is Riley Cooper.
And I would swipe right. With no family left to tie him down, no home but the memories of what had been, Riley had spent most of his adult life drifting across the continental United States like tumbleweed.
Harry, this sentence is underlined, and I want to click it to see what happens. 4 other people highlighted this part of the book. What?
Oh my gosh!
Hold up. Riley had spent most of his adult life drifting across the continental United States like a tumbleweed. What's so important about that sentence that 4 people
decided to highlight it?
They're like,
4 Kindle readers.
This part's getting me. Not anything in the previous 4 chapters, but and not the description of his body, but that he's just drifting.
Because you know what? This is backstory. Riley didn't have a family. This is emotional.
This is more emotional than fucking what's his face? What's his name?
Oh, Drew.
More interesting
Valen-
than Drew Valentine's backstory.
Oh, life is so hard being a dude.
Oh, my parents died when I was 13 and they just gave me a bunch of money.
And all these ladies want to pork my little ducal body. Life's so hard. It's a hard knock life for Drew.
I hate this. I love Bone Rider. I hate Drew.
I do hate Drew too. So let's get back to Riley. He didn't need much to be, if not happy, then at least content. Give him space to move, good music, a little money, and something to occupy his mind, and Riley was doing just fine. Riley is someone I would date the shit out of so far.
Hold on.
Oh.
Emotionally fucked up.
Oh, God. Emotionally fucked up enough not to care when life got lonely sometimes. He mostly managed to get by without forming any lasting emotional attachments to people bound to break his heart one way or another. The key word, unfortunately, being mostly. Oh, quotation marks. As it was, Riley had better nights. He was tired, footsore, and more than a little unsettled. He had left San Antonio in a hurry, grabbing only his bug-out bag, which left him with the bare necessities and not much more.
Necessities.
I got those.
Forget about the worries in your bones.
In that bug-out bag. He wasn't broke, but he just stitched a very cushy job in a fit of what had probably been only paranoia. And that meant he'd have to watch his expenses if he didn't want to touch his savings.
Well, I'll touch his savings.
I'll touch all of that savings. Save some more for me. That he was used to it didn't make him any less irritable about it. The only reason Riley hadn't already turned around and driven back to San Antonio was that it was possible that maybe, just maybe, his paranoia wasn't entirely unfounded. Better safe than sorry and all that. He hadn't known the risks when he got involved with Misha, but he knew them now, and was the kind of knowledge that couldn't be undone, shouldn't be undone,
wouldn't be undone.
Because he had no intention of getting caught off guard like that ever again. It still grated. Riley knew people, was good at reading them, seeing behind their public personas. He thought, for a while there, he'd really believed. He swallowed, hands tightening on the wheel. No thinking about that anymore. He'd fucked up. He knew it. He'd accepted it. He was over it. It still stung, would sting for quite a while. But damn if he was going to let it bring him down. Okay, I just have to stop and say Riley is a he should be like a relationship coach. Be like, you know, it's fucked up, but we're going to move on. You could do it. With a low cost of $19.95 a month, I will teach you.
Riley Cooper's Emotional Trauma Center. I didn't think that one through very well.
But it worked out.
I'll admit that.
That was another thing, though. Riley didn't let broken relationships haunt him. He wasn't used to being so jumpy, didn't like how the mere possibility of pursuit made him turn tail no matter how reasonable this kind of response might be in this particular situation. When Riley moved on, he did so because of job-related reasons or because he felt like it. He didn't grab the essentials and take off like a bat out of hell just because he thought he'd seen a familiar face in the crowd. He hadn't even given his notice, which annoyed him
no end.
Which annoyed him to no end, yes. He liked working on that southern screw, and it bugged him that he'd had to leave his boss and colleagues hanging. Nothing he could do about it either, because he tossed his cell phone in the trash on the way to his apartment.
Well, that seems unnecessary.
That's a little extreme. At least nobody could accuse him of doing things halfway. Hell.
I'm sorry. I can't stop. Won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop. Addicted to the bone ride.
So addicted. I'm a dick. I'm addicted to you. Bone Rider, you're cool. Hell, he startled so badly he splashed coconut rum all over his shirt.
You know what that looks like? Coconut rum.
Looks exactly like coconut rum. He hadn't spilled a drop in years, but when he thought he'd spotted Kolya, he'd almost dropped the entire bottle.
Who the fuck is Kolya?
Oh my god, I'm so excited to learn who Kolya is. He wanted to consider this a one-time strategic retreat, but the truth was, he'd been on the run since New Orleans. 2 months of always looking over his shoulder, feeling like a fool, being angry and hurt and missing Misha despite it all, because he was just that stupid. Had been just that much in love. It was enough to make him want to punch somebody, preferably the fucker responsible. This was exactly why he didn't do relationships.
And that's why he shouldn't be a relationship counselor.
That's true. In addition to feeling sorry for himself and like a chicken shit idiot to boot, Riley was getting beyond tired. It was past midnight, and exhaustion was sneaking in on velvet paws. Oh my god!
It's just well written.
That's the most sensual exhaustion ever. He'd worked a double shift tending bar at the Southern Screw and hadn't had time to rest before his unplanned and very hasty exit. So now he was trying to hold back the fuzziness with all of his might. The radio was blaring, Nancy Sinatra singing about how these boots were made for walking. And that's just what they'll do.
One of these days, these bones are gonna
ride
ride all over you.
I don't remember how the beat. Boom, boom.
I don't know the backbeat to that song.
I wish I remembered. The windows were rolled down to let in the warm night air, and with it, the smell of the road. The day's heat still radiating from the sun-bleached pavement of the I-10. The cracked cup holder cradled an enormous paper cup of cooling coffee.
In a
black
paper
as...
coffee cup.
In other words... Wait, enormous paper cup of... Oh, yeah. Paper cup of cooling coffee. Black as the night outside and bitter as could be. Oh, God, I taste that coffee on my tongue. And let me tell you...
Jay Fally, how do you do it?
And that coffee tastes like sex.
What's the sex gonna taste like?
Coffee.
Bitter.
Bitter.
Just how I want it.
I love it.
Somebody poured a bunch of olives in my mouth.
Just a bunch of bitters.
Just a bunch of bitters.
I go to the bar, and when I order a drink, I just order the bitters.
I order a cup full of bitters, and then I throw up on the floor.
Yeah. Just how I like it.
That's how I like my sex.
It wasn't really how Riley preferred it, but he hadn't had the time or patience to dig through mountains of artificial sweetener on the off chance he'd find some actual real sugar somewhere. Sugar, sugar. Ooh, Bone Rider. Without it, the gas station coffee tasted almost as bad as Misha's fancy concoctions. The man wouldn't have known a good cup of joe if it had jumped up and kicked him in the face.
Jassim.
Ugh, Jassim. Not that Riley gave a damn anymore, or thought about it a lot.
Uh-huh.
The broken white... Not thinking about it. The broken white lines were starting to blur and blend with the gray asphalt.
You need to stop. You need to pull over.
Yeah, seriously. So Riley reached for the cup again, grimacing in advance. It was probably time to stop for the night, but the itch to keep moving was stronger still.
Just like reading Bone Rider.
I can't stop. I'm going to stay up all night just reading.
No. You can only reread.
I'll just read these chapters over and over again. I'm going to memorize these chapters. I'm going to do a one-act, one-woman play.
You're going to be all the aliens and all the rockets being fired in the first.
I'm going to be all the armors. I'm going to be everything.
You're going to crawl inside your own mouth.
I would actually watch a performance piece of someone doing that. I would pay and happily.
If anyone out there knows how to crawl inside their own mouth and would be willing to teach Harry and myself, we're willing to learn. We don't have any money.
But I do have some throat drops.
You can be on the podcast.
You can be on the... Oh my god, please be on the podcast.
We do a recorded live of
you crawling
inside your own mouth.
I'm peeing.
Peeing over here.
Peeing over here.
Serving Pleasure podcast, now recorded from the bathroom.
And then just a constant
I'm in the tub.
Ethan's taking a cold bath, and I'm just peeing constantly.
I'm still peeing. It's a warmer bath with each passing second.
Oh my gosh. But you know what?
What do we do?
This is just such a tangent. But there was nothing around but wide open... Wait, I should probably go up again. So he was grimacing in advance. It was probably time to stop for the night, but the itch to keep moving was stronger still. There was nothing around but wide open hill country and the occasional rest area anyway. Might as well keep driving for a while longer. Much as he hated that he'd bolted like this, his gut told him to keep hauling ass, and Riley had learned to listen to his instincts. The only time they'd failed him had been with Misha. though he suspected that might have been due to thinking
with his dick.
It's okay. Riley, we all think with our dicks sometimes.
Everybody. I can't stop.
My dick's thinking for itself right now. Come back, Dick.
Well, get down.
Dick, whoa.
Down, boy. Down.
I'm supposed to hide you better.
My bone rider boner.
My bone rider. As he took a sip of coffee, nose wrinkling in disgust, he glimpsed something over the rim of the cup. Something like a puddle. But the truck was there and
My
rolling
boy.
over it before he could really process the image. It made him frown a little because the weather was dry, had been dry for a while, and the puddle hadn't looked like an oil
The
spill.
bone rider outside is frightful.
And Riley's
So
truck's
delightful.
delightful. He was too tired to do anything but glance in the rearview mirror out of curiosity. There was nothing on the road behind him, so he figured it must have been a trick of the light, maybe a heat mirage. He didn't know if that was possible in the middle of the night, and he didn't care. 5 minutes and as many drinks of coffee later.
How many cups of coffee does he have in the truck? All right,
Seriously.
this is my one sticking point. How could he have so many cups of coffee?
I think he only really has that one, but he's taking little baby sips because it's bitter.
That's not gonna keep you awake, buddy.
No, it's not, man. Speaking from experience, it's not. His engine stalled. Riley cursed, shoved the cup back into the holder, and quickly guided the car into the emergency lane. He wasn't at all that surprised. Middle of the night, nobody around, in a hurry. Of course the truck would pick this moment to get crotchety. I'm tired!
I'm tired. Pull over.
My tires hurt!
If you want to write fan fiction about Riley's truck, so do I.
I do too. We'll have it. Riley's Truck Club. Fanfic Club.
Bone Rider Cross Transformers.
Ooh! If you could count on nothing else, you could always count on Murphy's Law. He pushed open the door with his elbow, cringing a little when the capricious hinges creaked loudly in protest. The night was warm and quiet. The only sounds around, the ever-present buzzing and chirping of insects and the rustle of wind and the hardy little shrubs all around.
These shrubs are way better than those old shrubs. Because they're alive.
Because they are alive. Probably insect-free, thriving. Deciding that a break was a break, Riley took a moment to stretch the kinks out of his back and take a deep breath. The air smelled like desert, dry and dusty with a hint of sage and bee brush. Oh my god, I can smell it from here. Above him, the sky was pitch black and glittering with stars, remote and familiar at the same time. Weary as he was, he found he appreciated it. Big cities offered their own comforts, but he'd grown up in the boonies, and there'd always be a part of him that preferred the simplicity out here to the complicated bustle of city life. As pretty as the stars were, though, streetlights would have been nice. The moon was full and bright, dipping the whole world in silver, but the luminescence was superficial, more likely to create shadows than vanquish them. Riley grumbled a curse and reached over to dig his flashlight out of the glove compartment before he climbed out of the truck and popped the hood. All right, he muttered, leaning forward. Let's see. There was silver all over the engine block, and it had nothing to do with the moon. It was moving, shifting, slithering around. Riley stared at it uncomprehendingly for a second, his fatigued mind too sluggish to go from, pretty, what the hell, to, God, move and get away! In time to duck when the writhing mass attacked.
I feel like I'm supposed to be providing commentary, but I can't. I'm
I
just
can't.
listening.
I'm so invested. It hit him right in the face.
No!
Aggressive.
Hmm?
Riley stumbled back a step.
Jazzed him. Jazzed him.
What?
Jazzed him right in the face.
It jazzed him in their face.
But he survived.
To the skull. These aliens, like, if there's one body part they're all about, it's clearly the face. Like, clearly the head, skull. Jazzed him. Riley stumbled back a step, dropping the flashlight. He tried to grab the thing, pull it off him, but his fingers sank into smooth, silky matter without encountering resistance.
Same.
Ooh. It slipped through his hands like greasy ashes, flowed over his skin like solid smoke. It was everywhere, coating his throat.
Fuck, those are cool words to describe that.
It took greasy ashes.
I can feel it, even though I don't know what it...
Solid smoke. Oh my god. I want this System 6 on me.
Damn, Jay.
Oh my god, damn Jay. It was everywhere, coating his throat, his shoulders, tracing his jaw, stroking his lips, and forcing them apart relentlessly. Oh yeah, I'm so excited to read this.
Alright, you're freaking me out a little bit
sorry.
now.
I'll tone it down.
Don't.
I can't.
Make it real.
Eyes wide, heart hammering frantically, awake now and all too aware, Riley clenched his teeth and shook his head wildly, trying to get it off, keep it out. Thin noises of protest rose from his chest, the sounds of an animal caught in a trap. But the creature didn't care, didn't stop. Cool and slippery, it edged in, opened him up, invaded his mouth and nose, and poured itself down its throat while he jerked and clawed at it. He panicked, gagged, breathed stuttery breaths.
You're getting too invested. You're forgetting how to read now.
Oh my god, it was English.
Take a sip of water.
Oh my god. Breath stuttering through airways that suddenly felt cramped and too narrow, like drowning on dry land. Oh my god.
No, just wait. It gets better.
Choking on wet cement. Blackness swirled at the edges of his vision, and Riley fought that as well, scared to death of losing consciousness, of giving in, of not knowing what was happening to him. His knees buckled.
Mine too.
He fell down on all fours and yacked desperately, his body shuddering with the effort to expel the unwelcome intruder. He felt raw, violated, unable to bite down on the reedy whimper that escaped when the last bit of the thing glided into him with a little pat against the roof of his mouth. Oh, what a cheeky bastard!
System 6, you so cheeky.
You so cheeky, such sass in that.
System 6, you so cheeky. You so cheeky, you wet my beaky.
You so cheeky. System 6, you so beaky.
It's too hard.
I don't like that as much.
I'm not pushing that one.
Nope, I'm not either. Okay. Roof of his mouth. On his knees in front of the car, Riley coughed and retched and trembled, every sense focused on what was going on inside him. He could breathe easier now, but his belly felt full and heavy, icy cold radiating from his center. It was seeping into his muscles and sinews, made them feel sore and overstretched. There was a tickle along his spine, an itch so deep down it must have come from his bones.
Right, they being ridden.
Those bones being ridden. Riley groaned and panted as shock crept in, numbing his perception and fucking up his system even worse. He felt nauseous, frozen, vaguely aware of how thready and weak his pulse was getting. His teeth chattered, his whole body shook helplessly. Then the creature did something to his head that felt like being sliced open and eaten alive, and Riley reared up and howled like a dog, hoarse with hurt.
Nay.
He felt it stab at him, into him, penetrate him even deeper, rooting around until it could infiltrate every inch of his body, cold and hot at the base of his skull, a raspy lick against raw nerves. He tensed, tried to prepare himself for the pain, but there was no anticipating, no dealing with the kind of agony that followed. This time, he didn't fight the blackness. He embraced it.
End of chapter 5. I'm tired.
I'm tired. I'm spent. Oh, my God.
I
need to take a sip of water.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Well, that was as detailed, horrifying, and weird as I thought it would be, but I'm not as creeped out as I thought I would be.
Yeah, like there's something about it happening. You're like, holy shit, this is fucked up. But I think it's good because you had those first 3 chapters all led up.
First 5?
Oh, yeah.
First 4 chapters.
First 4 chapters that were like that led up to this like happened. You're like, this is dark and weird.
Because Fally is introducing you to their writing style and like kind of how, so you anticipate it coming, so.
Yeah. I'm into it.
You made me into something that I didn't know I was into.
And Riley took that like a champ.
You love Riley Cooper so much.
I love Riley Cooper, and I am honored to be the voice of Riley Cooper.
System 6 is cooler.
That I can't argue with that, but I now feel so attached to Riley Cooper. Also, I just love how Riley Cooper is like, he's kind of like, I'm doing like air quotes, like a normal dude. He's a bartender. He's just now has come into this life. I just assumed that Riley, I don't know, from the synopsis, I had this entire whole story pictured where Riley was a soldier as well or something like that.
The first few chapters made me think that he was going to be there.
Yeah, so it's just such a pleasant surprise that Riley is running from Misha, and now we've got this badass alien that's going to make him even more badass, the baddest bad boy, when he finally has to confront Misha and Kolya. Who the fuck is Kolya?
Mm.
Oh my god.
This makes me want to rewatch Parasite the Maxim. You don't have to know what that is, but people listening might know. It's anime. So.
Yeah, I definitely don't know what that is.
It's not porn anime.
It's okay if it were.
It's not. I don't do that. I just do this.
I just spend time with another person to read.
Yeah, I can't do it by myself. I need other people around.
Nothing really gives me a thrill unless others are there and watching.
I'm a very social person.
I'm
not a social person. If you see me on the street, please leave me alone.
Don't acknowledge my existence. Look away.
If you tell me you only know me from the podcast, I will be very concerned, and I don't know what you'll think of me.
Oh my gosh! Now I think we should just post pictures of you.
No, please don't.
I'm gonna do
the
geotags wherever you are.
Stop! It's too real. Oh God, no, please. Oh, this episode's running super long.
It is.
Not as long as Exotic Erotic, because we know how to control ourselves.
How long was their episode?
Their episodes are like 40 to 45 minutes long.
That's long.
Yeah, I think their first episode was 42 and their second episode was 49.
That's an investment.
Get your shit together, Wesley and Bailey. I know you're not going to hear this for like another 2 or 3 weeks, but get your shit together. I haven't emailed you about it because, I want to be a professional and I enjoy listening to your episodes and I know you're coming into your own. But get your fucking shit together.
But hey, I'm glad you two are having fun.
You haven't even listened to their episodes yet. You might have now.
By this time, there's a good possibility. I'll listen to them tomorrow on my walk to work. Take that, Ethan.
Tomorrow will be like 3 weeks ago.
What is time? Where did I come from?
A social construct.
It's just the makings of my imagination.
Getting that SpongeBob in here. Teasers for the future.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
Spoilers! It's a secret. Spoilers in every episode of the Serving Pleasure Podcast original series.
Spoilers and songs.
Spoilers and songs with the Serving Pleasure Podcast original team.
Do.
Bye!